Thank you very much for this introduction. And thank you, Lawrence, for inviting me for this program and the special address and to moderate the panel thereafter. I must say it's always a pleasure coming back to RAI. Very, very fond memories of being part of RAI. Having seen RAI grow from a very small, unknown organization to now becoming the anchor of the Indian retail industry. And I must compliment Kumar and the whole team for having brought RAI to this stage. If the presentation can be put across, I just thought I'll share with each one of you my journey and the genesis with which TRRAIN was started, and thereafter the genesis with which we extended TRRAIN to TRRAIN Circle. And this is important because the birth of the thought of TRRAIN happened in 1991, when I actually got into the so-called modern retail field very early with the first store of Shop Stop, which opened in Andheri in 1991. I was the first employee of the company. I had no background in running large retail formats. I was ignorant as far as retail is concerned, but I got this chance, thanks to the Raheja family, to come and be a participant to developing something which today is called as a pioneer of modern retail. So when you start as a first employee, you get the credit for being the first employee. But after that day, it's all about team. And I had a team of 13 members to start off when we started this store Shop Stop on the 27th of October, 1991. So friends, after the first, it is always the team. And the team consists of people. And this team for me was a family. I mean, we worked together, we ate together, we meal together, we had fun together. And we cried together when we achieved targets, and we ate ice creams together when we achieved targets. That was the family that we started off with in 1991. Today, I'm told Shop Stop has 50,000 plus employees who have crossed the company through the last 30 years. We still have 5,000-6,000 employees, another 8,000 to 10,000 associates who work with us. But this is how it started off. To me, people are the key to actually building any retail organization, and people have to be part of your family. And I think that is the topic of today also, family first role of HR. But I'll come to that later on. So from there, if I go to the next slide, the one thing that has not changed in the last 30 years is that it is the people, it is the associate, it is the front end last mile employee who connects with the customer. Whether retail has become omni-channel, whether retail has become delivery, whether retail has become an ATM. But I think it is important. And when I say ATM, it's surprising sometimes. Although ATM is supposed to be an unmanned machine which does the same work that a teller does inside the bank. But even today, in all the ATMs, we still have a security person sitting outside. And many of us do ask him a few things and talk to him. So we as Indians also love the interface with employees or with people. And I think we do want some human beings to be there. So there is a huge importance of having a retail employee or an associate connect to the customer. Now, this could be in the brick and mortar retail. This could be online when the delivery boy is happening. This could be the online call center at the back. Or this could be the Swiggies of the world and the Zomatos of the world where delivery is happening. But they are there. Or it could be the salons where somebody is serving, or it could be the restaurant where somebody makes a drink or actually cooks. Or somebody comes and says, ma'am, I have done the meal without putting chilies because I know you're allergic to chilies. Now, this is that associate who actually builds the organization. And if you ask me, who other than your mother or your wife would actually do things like that to say, I have not added chili because I know you're allergic to it. It's only because when you're no more an employee of an organization, but you're part of a family. And the part of the family comes on both the ends, as an employer, as an employee, as a team member and a team leader. And that I think is important. And therefore we have to understand what is it that makes an employee or a bunch of people a family in an organization. And that I think is going to be the topic of a panel discussion as we go forward. But it's also important, especially when retail spends a long hours and retail employee spends more with his organizational work family than he or she spends with her own family or his own family, which is true, whether it is Mumbai, Delhi, or even a small town. I mean, you are there in the store between 11 to 8, 9. By the time you reach home, it's 10 o'clock, you sleep off, you get up, you're getting ready and coming back. You have a weekly off on a weekday when most of the family members are working. When they have a weekly off, maybe you're working. So you're more connected to the organizations where you're working. And therefore, the organization has to be a family. Yeah? As we go ahead, so when this kind of a challenge is there, and I have seen this challenge in the last 30 years of being part of Shopper Stop, last 10 years of starting TRRAIN, and TRRAIN, if you look at it, the genesis of TRRAIN actually started off with all of you helping us to build this. So one of the issues was, how do you become a family member without getting communicated with your retail employees? How do you connect with your retail employees? And this is a challenge because most of the time the connection ends with the store manager. And the store manager then connects with the retail employees. And there are hundreds and hundreds of platforms which are coming up across. TRRAIN Circle is a different platform that we have launched. I'll talk about it. But it is important to see, is there a way that we can actually converge everything into one platform, which is to actually ensure the well-being of the employee. So when we come to TRRAIN Circle, the platform that we launched, and this is after 10 years of going through retail through the form of TRRAIN, this platform is actually being created to ensure that the employees who work with the organizations are happy. And we not only look after their happiness, but also the family happiness. If you go ahead, Akash. Go ahead, please. So the three outcomes that we are looking at. One is well-being. Second is engagement. And the third is impact. And this impact has to come out of insights. So if you have to look at well-being, engagement, and insights, the most important thing is well-being. Because if you cannot talk about well-being, then you won't get the engagement. Because as an HR fraternity, or as people's fraternity, or as businesses, we are looking at engagement with an outcome of results. But you know, ghar pe bhi, if you just keep telling the kids study well, study well, study well, it doesn't happen. I mean, there has to be an environment to study, and the parents have to actually provide that platform, provide that ability for the kid to study and do well in life. So to me, the well-being is very, very important. Therefore, our platform works towards well-being. Our platform works towards engaging of employees. And the whole objective is, can we get the insights so that together with the organization, we can create an impact. Go forward. So to improve the well-being, there are hundreds of features, and these features are there across many platforms. I'm not saying we are the only platform, but the important thing is the genesis of coming back from TRRAIN. What we're trying to do is the understanding of working with the front-end associate their life, their challenges, their problems. Okay, how can we really help them with the short time that they have, you know, the rigor that they have to work? How can we really bring things to them which can make a difference? And that's where we have put together lots of things. And this is just the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. Over the next few months, a year, 2 years, you'll actually see this becoming a very comprehensive platform. Because our aim is not to build an enterprise and create huge value and valuation. Our aim is to create tremendous well-being for the industry, which has 46 million people and 200 million Indians who are involved with that. If you have a happy industry, there will be value created for the whole industry, and there will be valuation for the whole industry. And if we are part of it, we'll also achieve that. But our focus is, how do we bring in well-being for the employees? And of course, we can't do it alone. We have to do it through you. Go ahead, please. And of course, for engagement, like I said, there are many platforms. I mean, people are talking of from attendance to onboarding to rewards and recognition to training to quizzes to SOPs. And you know, we have actually launched a portion of whistleblower a tab on our app. We have a happiness measurement to say how happy the employee is at a store level, regional level, industry level, and category level. All this is absolutely fine. But in order to engage, okay, which is your mind to work, the heart has to take. So again, I'm repeating for all of us, let our heart take from the well-being, for our mind to take to start actually engaging our employees to get better productivity. And of course, how do we get to know what's happening? So we have insights that we have created from where we can actually measure the impacts. Go ahead, Akash. And actually then look at how, as a combination of well-being, engagement, and insights, can we actually deliver something for the organization at a great value. And that's where our whole thinking on the price came in. And when I looked at the organization Retail, first of all, Retail doesn't make big monies. On top of it, Retail spends a lot of money on technology, and we had to come out with a solution which was priced very low, and therefore we have actually provided this solution of TRRAIN Circle as a platform for all the organizations that you see at a very low price of 144 per year per employee, which is 12 rupees per month per employee, and this is less than probably a cup of tea a quarter. So you don't even have to spend one cup of tea a month, you have to spend one third a cup of tea, and your employee can actually get the well-being and engagement. uh, we have a lot of people from your fraternity, organizations, and brands who've joined us, but this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. This is not what gives me the kick. The kick will be when 46 million people, 100 million employees, and their families are together, and where actually they can say, you know what, we have grown. And we have seen some incidences in the survey that we did, where actually we are seeing the employees reacting to say how the content of the app, the content of what we have put together has made a big difference. In fact, the whole branding of TRRAIN Circle came out because when I was talking to some of the employees, they said, अगर सर आप ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हो तो ये मेरे फ्रेंड सर्कल जैसा होगा, और अगर फ्रेंड है तो ट्रेन तो वैसे भी हमारा फ्रेंड है, तो ट्रेन सर्कल becomes our friend. And that's how we actually started off this concept. We have 40,000-50,000 members already on the app. Okay, but like I said, this is just the beginning. I put together the name of my colleagues, Asha, Ravi, Amisha, who are there. Maybe you can take a screenshot of this and do connect with them if you also want to work on the well-being of your employees, work on engaging with your employees, and make your organization a very happy family and a wonderful workplace. Yeah, great places to work is the organizational uh, medal that you get, but if all the families of the employees actually are happy, then you extended the great places from your office to their home. And join me in this endeavor of TRRAIN Circle to go forward and achieve this over the next few years. Thank you very much for this time that you all have given me, and I will move on to the panel discussion and take the questions post the panel discussion. Thank you very much. Thank you.